All right, so last year I was lucky enough to actually get some support from SPEKTRUM Sports. It's a company based in Sweden, in particular in Stockholm and also in Ore where I'm living. The KALL, which is a more straight kind of glass with a bit more limited kind of coverage, and the Blanksters, which are meant for sportive activities. Both frames are bio-based. 64% of it is biological materials. It's more about the fit and also the glass that they actually use, which is Zeiss glass. First, the KALL version. Like I said, you have seen me wearing those for many weeks and whatnot. I wear them all the time. Which also is a detriment to the glasses in the end, because I pretty much abuse those. You know, those are the gray-based ones. The frame is black, so if you take a look on the website, you're gonna see a couple versions. A friend of mine, he actually has the brown-based ones with polarization to it, and he's super happy with those. I just got the gray-based ones due to the fact that I prefer a neutral, more ND, which neutral density filter kind of approach to it. So those ones are made for like sunny days and whatnot, you know, and those ones, even if it's overcast and whatever, I can wear them on a regular basis. For wind protection or like, you know, in windy conditions, they're not really that good because they are a little bit more open. However, I was wearing them whole last season into now. I even wear them at work, you know, when I'm using the angle grinder as protection or what have you, you know, for all kinds of stuff. That is also the reason why the coating is already damaged. And the lower part here and the other side also has quite a few scratches because over the time, if you use them a lot and you know, basically every coating that says like it's scratch proof or whatever, it wears out, you know, all the time. In particular, when you use an angle grinder or whatever and you get some shit in your face, that is very bad for your glass. Don't do that. Especially not when you pay a lot of money for sunglasses. But yeah, well, I tend to not have too much stuff. So I personally, I love the fit. Overall, the build quality is really good, and I like, they are quite flexible. I've seen similar ones like Bliss, for example. It's also a Swedish company. The plastic that they use is very stiff, and it tends to break really fast. So for the abuse they took so far, you know, you can compare that to like 4 years of wear in your case or whatever, you know. Because I use them on tours, I use them running, I use them working, I use them in all conditions you can have, basically. And they work. However, they tend to glare quite a bit when when you have sun from the side like this. The contrast gets quite low. Today it's actually now, since the clouds are coming in, it's actually fairly okay. Straight from the front and whatever, it starts to glare quite a lot. You know, now when the sun is hitting it quite much, it starts to glare quite a bit. Which is to be expected for sunglasses that are in that kind of, you know, ballpark. No sunglasses are perfect, but for the price, you actually get a lot. Like I said, those ones are for sunny weather use primarily. They work quite well on overcast situations as well, since they are fairly neutral. If you prefer sunglasses that have a certain tint to them, they are interchangeable glasses. You can actually take those out, so you can actually get other glasses. Blankster ones have a similar kind of style to them in terms of like flexibility and all. The frame obviously is a different one. You can also exchange the glasses on those ones, but obviously since they're meant for sportive activities, they have a different coverage. I like it quite a bit. However, those brown tinted glasses, they enhance basically the blue-green contrast when you're out in the field or wherever, which basically means that right now I see way more green in a more like green yellowish kind of tint. So the green yellow perspective, like it just pops out a little bit more. You have a bit more luminance, a little bit more saturation kind of like of those kind of frequencies, which I personally I'm not a fan of, but that is just depending on what are you doing, what do you prefer and whatnot, you know. So they also come in different glasses. The pretty much the golden standard for those ones are probably, like if you look at the website, you see the those infrared glasses. It's basically just an additional coating to the gray glass, which are also for a little bit more higher sunny conditions. Those ones here are meant for sunny to overcast kind of situations. So then, especially when it's overcast, then you actually get a very nice kind of view. Now in the sunny conditions, I think the green just pops out a little bit too much for me. Otherwise, I like them quite a bit in terms of like how they feel. Due to the quite different look, I have a bit of problem here in that area. Like if I'm looking around, looking down, I can see, like, you know, a little bit of this area here in my eyesight. So, but that is just something you have to get used to it. Funny enough, since I just started wearing them, I just borrowed them from my friend. Since they have a little bit more of a rounder shape, when I started wearing them, since I'm so used to the straight glasses now, I kind of like have a little bit of a bandage going, like if I'm looking around. Now my eyes kind of adapted to it, but in the beginning I was a little bit like my eyes had to work a little bit to get the perspective going. Quite funny to see, actually. Same issue when you look straight into the sun. Like they don't, due to the greenish kind of like tint to it, green yellowish kind of tint. The sun also pops a little bit more, which is kind of like it's more perception kind of thing, I would say. It gives you a much better coverage than the KALL ones, definitely. So if you go out running or whatever, you're better off using those kind of ones. Otherwise, same thing. I like it. Also, they don't really stress much. Like, you know, they feel really good wearing them. I often wear my sunglasses like this up here, and that puts quite a bit of stress on the sides, you know. So have that in mind when you do that. You know, if you're buying some sunglasses that are pretty stiff, you're now really capable of doing that, because you put so much stress on there that over the time they're gonna break. Anyhow, that is my little review over those sunglasses. Like I said, I actually really like those. Price-wise, I forgot to mention that, they're in a 120 euro kind of bar. Those ones are bloody expensive. They are like 250 euros. Which is obviously due to the glass. You know, you can get the cylinder version for, I think it was like 150, 160 euros or something like that. Those ones, the polarized ones, they are way more expensive, obviously, because, you know, the coating makes the huge difference. You know, it's a lot of people, they just buy sunglasses for the look, but never really like think about like what kind of coating there's on, or what kind of like perception of the world kind of you get, you know, and also what they're meant for. Like I said, I prefer the more neutral kind of look. I used to have polarized ones as well. They can be really nice, but at times they can also be quite distracting. So, but that is just me. All right, have a nice day. Have a good one.